Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. I think we can get this session started, and people will go through the recordings. If anybody is there, they will join later in the session. Yes. So before getting started, first of all, thank you so much for attending the first demo session of data and analytics course. And, and I'll give you a quick brief about myself. My name is Venkat, and I have 8+ years of experience into the domain of data and analytics. And throughout my experience, I trained a lot of data analysts, and I trained a lot of data analysts, and I mentored a lot of data analysts, and I even selected a few of them in my team. Like I conducted interviews to select a data analyst or all. So yeah. So coming to my professional experience, I have worked with the top MNC companies and startup companies. I even worked with the companies called Flipkart and Amazon. So the course curriculum that I prepared for this course is what I have done in my experience and what my friends are doing in their jobs as a data analyst. So based on the industry related experience, I have prepared this curriculum. So that curriculum only we are going you guys going to learn in this course. So without any due, let's get started. So welcome to the world of data. So these are today's agenda for our demo session. In this demo session, you guys going to learn what is data analytics and why you should learn data analytics. I'll give you the reasons why you should learn a data analytics based on the current demand in the market and based on the salaries that you can expect as a data analyst, and what are the industries that are looking for a data analyst, and what are the reasons for all this demand. All these things you are going to learn, and what are the tools that are trending in market. So how hard to learn a data analyst course, and who should enroll this course, and why you need to choose us, why you need to choose us that. So these are our first agenda, the first topic in our agenda. What is data analytics? So data analytics is nothing but transforming a raw data into actionable insights. When I say an actionable insight, it can be anything. So, for example, if you see here the boardings, I find it funny, but this is also one of the good and best work of a data analyst. Like I mean to say, putting hoardings is not data analyst work. The numbers that you see right in these hoardings, that is kind of a data analytics works. So, for example, these hoardings are used as a advertisement campaign for Blinkit. So, if I read this here, India ordered 37 lakh tonic water cans in 2024, and India ordered 16 lakh packs of dates in 2024, and India ordered 84 lakhs of bottles of thumbs up. So someone ordered 55 bottles of Fevicols. All these numbers they are using in these hoardings are uh, received from a data analyst. So in the organization, you see the data analyst, right? What you will do, you will take the raw data and you will analyze the data. So the analysis of data mostly called as EDA, exploratory data analysis. So he find these patterns and he give these patterns to the marketing team, and they use that numbers for a campaigning purpose. Yeah. So for example, here you are seeing 37 lakh, right? You need, as a data analyst, you need to imagine the guy who did 37, he analyzed 37 lakhs of a rows of a data, more than 37 lakhs of rows of a data to come with these numbers. I just wanted to give just small example how a raw data looks like. I'll just go if we here. Raw data can be anything. Sometimes raw data will be a text. Sometimes raw data will be a tabular format. Sometimes raw data will be in another formats. So the most of the industries, the raw data it should be look like this. And it's bit loading. let's give it a minute. So meanwhile, I'll explain more into this slide. So data analyst is a guy. The first skill that every analyst should have is a business understanding. So that is the most skill after these technical skills. So what is the business skill in the sense? If a gold shop, the business is to sell more gold. Kirana shop business is to sell more products. Or a Flipkart aim is to sell more products through his app, mobile app. Or Amazon to sell more products through his mobile app. That is the business of each and every every company. We as a data analyst, what we need to learn is when you join a company, you need to understand what these people are selling and how this company getting money. You just need to understand these two things to become a data analyst, and the remain will come. All remaining skills will be an added advantage. So
You mean to
the most
say,
of the
sorry to interrupt. You mean to say domain knowledge?
correct, yes, we need domain knowledge in the sense just a basic domain knowledge should be sufficient enough. You no need to deploy a tool, you no need to deploy a software and all.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a kind of a raw data. This kind of a data the data analyst mostly consume and produce this kind of a numbers. So yeah, this just a small example I given this. This is kind of one kind of an example. So I find it's funny, and it will be some kind of interesting to share. So yeah, this is some example for how what is a data analyst can do. So the coming to the next slide, why you should learn data analytics. So I think you guys are here because you already decided to learn data analytics course. But I just wanted to give some more reason to to make just wanted to prove whatever the decision you took, it's a correct decision to learn data analytics course. Here you are seeing right in x-axis you see here year 2018, 29, 2020, 2021. These all are years, and y-axis that you see 60,000. It's if you look at 60k. Uh, Here 120 means 120k and 180 means 180k. 180k is in a sense 1.8 lakh and 1.2 lakh and 60,000 jobs. So what I wanted to say with this chart is, so for every year how many job data analyst jobs are being created in India. So if you look at it here in 2008 we have a data analytic vacancies less than 60k, and from year on year we see at least 20% growth every year. There is a uh, every year there is a growth for these jobs. So currently in 2023 we see 1 lakh 42k jobs are created for a data analyst. So why, like, this just an example. Even if we have a COVID in 2020 and 2021, that doesn't stop the industry to create these jobs. Data analyst jobs are still growing. The one primary reason, like, we have other slides to explain why this kind of a growth, but the primary reason is that the technology. So when every day there is something being invented, something being created, in a sense, we don't even know what chat gpt is maybe 5 years past, but now we even have a chat gpt. And there is a lot of technologies, and the banks are eliminating banks are doing this paperless transactions and ATMs. And we were, I think, I don't even know what is the last time I went to bank, because whatever I need, I'm doing in my mobile. Even I stopped going to ATM. Early days, I used to go every end of the month. I used to go to ATM. I used to withdraw some money for my day-to-day purposes. But now it's not like that the case. So we are now using UPI. Like 90% of the transaction today that I'm doing is through UPI. what I mean to say is, maybe 2 years before, I don't used UPI that much. So now I'm using UPI. What I'm doing, I'm creating a data for UPI companies like Phone Pay, Google Pay, at some other any other Paytm, all kind of people. I'm creating a data for them. So if I use a cellular company, if I make a call, I'm creating a data for the cellular company. If I go a supermarket, I'm buying something, means first of all I'm buying something, I'm giving money, and additionally I'm giving one transaction of data to that supermarket. So everybody is tracking their own data for future purposes. So for example, one company's data is not only useful for their growth, but is also useful to understand how other companies are performing. So for example, if I say, in India, there will be 90% of our transactions are happening through phone pay. That means phone pay has an idea that what kind of but phone pay knows how much a tea seller make per a month. Phone pay knows how much I spend per month in a day to day, and phone pay knows how much a pani puri guy makes in a month. So see, the aim of the phone pay or UPI is just to provide a fast and interactive paperless money transaction services. But and additionally, what they are generating a lot of data that is helping them to understand other people's business, how other companies are doing. So because of all this technology growth and all this adoption in new trends and everything, these jobs are being created every year. So let's go to the other side. This slide explains what are the salaries that you can expect as a data analyst in Indian context. So I just picked this as a lower end, the end in the sense it like at least, well, at least you should get this much of a pay if you fall under any of these experience buckets. So I'm pretty sure you get more than this. Just for just for simplicity, I don't want to give more expectations and all, but see this number. Currently, the entry level guy with 0 to 2 experience, he can earn 6.5 lakh per month. It is for only Indian companies. Like if you go to an MNC or a consulting companies with a good experience, more than 2 experience and all, you might get 12 lakh and 10 lakh. But what are the salaries that I show you in this slide? This is the least and minimum salaries that you can expect. And and these numbers are based on 2023 statistics from Naukri and Glassdoor. The current numbers will be much more than this because of this inflation and the technology rise. So yeah, this slide explains what are the salaries that you can expect at a minimum salaries. A entry level guy can expect 6.5 lakh per annum, and a mid level guy can expect to 8.5 lakh, and a senior level 6+ years of experience can expect 15 lakh, and a specialist with the domain expertise can expect 25 lakh. And you will expect more. Yeah, just I wanted to put some number in your mind, so at least you'll get some confidence. Ha. Coming to industries that requiring data analyst. So yeah, we explained, right. Banking, banking is expensively using the technology. Like when there is an adoption in technology, we see a growth in data, too much of growth in data. So every company wanted to save their data to do their analytics. I said that the banks are, doing these ATM services. So what they will do, they'll save their transaction histories, and the transaction histories will be used for future analysis and audit purposes. Audit purposes in the sense, so in some of the industry, like policies track criminals using ATM transactions. Police tracks people based on credit card transaction. So that's why every company mandated to store the customer data at any cost. So so they will know how much, for example, if you go bank and you give your passbook, they'll do printout of your passbook. They log your transactions, how much you done, and everything. So yeah, that is we see the data growth in banking and finance and healthcare. Even if you go to a healthcare, all your test reports are coming through your WhatsApp, right? That is also rising data. And the e-commerce, you are guys already know Flipkart and Amazon. And other than this, now we are seeing Meso, Odan, and we have quick commerce companies like Zepto, Blinkit, they are Zomato. They are also generating a lot of data. So recently, I read an article that says Zomato receives 18 lakh orders per day. So Zomato in India, right? So Zomato is available in mostly in metro cities. So only metro cities are generating 18 lakh, 18 lakh orders. That means 18 lakh rows of a data that Zomato company is generating. So when a company is generating that much of a data, means they should a need of a data analyst to consume the data and convert the data into a number. So yeah, so even for example, why I say number is important. So why there is a need of a to convert a raw data into a number. So if I ask this question, I'll say, for example, if a new movie releases, and some people say movie is hit, some people say movie is flop. So actual person can get to know the movie is super hit or flop? The based on collections. The collection is a number. So when somebody who don't know the knowledge of movies and all, they will ask how much this movie collected. 100 crore. So that kind of a number that tells people who don't have experience in a particular field, this movie is hit or flop. So yeah, how that number comes based on the number of tickets sold. If you see in book my show and all, they every day they report lot. They get people book tickets through book my show, and book my show has this number ticket count. And the data analyst in book my show, they'll query the data and they'll sum price of each ticket and get the amount. So they say that this movie is collected this much of amount of money. So based on this movie is a super hit movie, because data is the only source of a truth that anyone can believe. So if you, it's not only this, any industry, if you name any industry today, they are generating lots of amount of data. And they when there is a growth in data, there is a need for data analyst. So yeah, this gives reasons for increasing in demand. So the only reason I could say, the technology explosion and the digitalization of things. So nowadays, what they are, even if you look at in COVID, they made everything uh, digitalized. Like even we used to get our vaccination certificate through mobile, and we used to book our vaccination through our mobile. And if you go to the vaccination center, it is like, you don't need to fill any form because it's a contactless, right? So when you merge technology in a traditional space, that generates data. So yeah, so if you go to supermarket, they will do uh, they will do order, they'll give a bill, right? That is also data. So early days, people don't used to give these bills and any bills, and then I think they just give it to like that. But because of the technology, everybody wanted to save, everybody wanted to understand how the business is doing. By, for example, there is a supermarket, they're getting from X amount of sales. If a supermarket wanted to understand from which kind of products are giving more sales, are they vegetables are giving more sales? If sometimes what they wanted to understand, in vegetables, which fruit is giving more sales, with which fruit people are buying more. That kind of analysis that people wanted to do with the data. So based on that numbers, they can take a decision. What kind of a decision? So I have a supermarket data that says that how many products are sold every day, every month. So the coming month I'll see, for example, mangoes, and based on the sales data I'll see this many mangoes are getting sold last month, and we can expect same or more number of mangoes can be sold in coming months. Based on this, what they'll do, they buy more mangoes and keep in their inventory, so people will come to supermarket and they'll buy mangoes. So this kind of analysis that they do, I told this is a supermarket perspective. For so for example, if you take a bakery perspective, how bakeries will do, in bakeries also they'll do same. They'll see how many cream cakes are getting sold every month, how many normal cakes are getting sold, how many ice cream cakes are getting sold. So they do this analysis. For example, December is a Christmas day. Every year December and January you see more number of cakes consumption. So based on this analysis, what they will do, they take last year's data and they will see last year December how many cakes that we sold, how many cakes, how many cream cakes we sold. So they do this analysis and they will get one number, one round figure number. There's a cream last year 1 kg cream cake we sold for maybe 200 cakes, and this year December they prepare for more than 200 cakes, and they'll prepare more than 200 cakes and they'll keep it in their inventory in the sense to their display, so people will come and buy that cake. So data tells the truth, in the sense data is the only source that tells what happened exactly last year, what might can happen. And if you open your mobile phone, you see a temperature forecast for tomorrow. And how this temperature forecast is done based on past data. Yesterday this temperature is this much, and last year this month we see this much of temperatures. So every year, for example, May month, last year May month we have this temperature, and this year May we have this temperature. That kind of a numbers people tend to say. That is the only logic. The phone or any company, they predict the future temperature. If you don't have a last year data, last year temperature, if you, for example, this is your first May in India, you might not able to tell what is the temperature that looks like in India. You can only tell temperatures in India in May month is this much because the last year you experienced this much. So the past data is so much important to take a business any decisions. Yeah, this is all for why you should learn data analytics. Coming to tools, what are the tools that are in demand? So if you look at in this slide, the Python is the,
Just a sec.
yeah. Please go ahead.
Sir, even Power BI also does the same thing, right?
Hmm.
Power BI
Which,
collects the data from the other people, other
hmm.
team like Informatica, and then
Hmm.
it's provide the like charts, so that the
Actually,
so that the senior person, who is the decision maker, can take the decision. Then what is the difference, becoming a
uh,
data analyst and Power BI, because it was
uh,
already there earlier. How come
uh,
it came into so much boom, data analyst?
the thing is, the Power BI is a visualization tools, and Power BI is restricted to some companies. Other companies don't use Power BI always because
Hmm.
Power BI needs licensing. Like the companies take trial, or they buy Power BI from Microsoft and they use it. And the work of Power BI is not only collect, just to visualize and display it to the leaders to take a decision. In the sense, most of there will be some analysis. I showed in this Blinkit side, right? Blinkit hoardings and all. So that kind of analysis, they won't do it in Power BI or any other visualization tool, Power BI or Tableau, Looker. So there will be analysis that requires only one time analysis, maybe on a weekly ones. So weekly analysis, like they only do it monthly thrice or weekly once or monthly once. That kind of analysis don't need Power BI. Like Power BI infrastructure, for example, if you need a Power BI, you need to have this licensing, and you again need a data engineer support to connect to the Power BI to your data sources. You have multiple data sources, so Power BI needs that connection, right? So yeah, and because that is not only is the only one tool that industries will use. That's why these all tools are came into picture. And the first data analytic tool is Excel. Actually, it's a simple, easy, and everybody uses. Okay, I'll go to the slide explain. If we here Python 78% adoption rate. So how can what I mean to say here is so for example 78% data analysts are using Python in their day-to-day analysis and analytics purposes, and SQL 85%. This explains that 85% of data analysts are using SQL for their day-to-day data analytics and analysis purposes. Here, 92% people are using Excel, and 45% people are using R. So, if you look at it based on this graph, we can say SQL and Excel are the first primary data analysis tools. So that's why we see this much of adoption. And the
So
Python.
you mean to say you were saying if we have to do data analysis,
Hmm.
Excel is enough. If we have only Excel, we can do it.
At one extent, yes. Without Excel, you can't able to see, right? Like for example, you did an analysis and you wanted to show that analysis to your manager or a senior vice president or a director.
Yeah.
So that the thing, the vice president and director, they don't install Python in their laptop, right?
Mhm.
They the basic tool that Microsoft tool director
Yes,
or
everyone
senior
have.
leader is Excel. So you
Yeah.
can't give your Python code or sir, please execute my Python code. Like it won't be, what he want is a number. What he want a number that I'll see something like if I have this number or not. So what I want is this kind of a number. So for example, a sales director just want to see how much of a sales are happening at north, how much of sales is happening south, west, and they just wanted to see. Their job is to just see this number, but as a data analyst, what you will see this data. So the problem is you can't give this data to them, and you can't able you should not give a Python code or R code or SQL code. You the most of the cases, maybe 99% of the cases, you give this kind of a numbers. So then industry, you do your all your analysis, you will write your Python code, and or you will write your SQL or R code. You just run that code every day, that generates maybe this kind of a data. Then you will take a screenshot and you will provide to them, or you will make some Excel report kind of way, and you will provide to them. So that is the main reason the you should have a Excel knowledge as a data analyst
Okay.
primary. This is something like
Basic.
mandatory, like everybody
Okay.
can expect.
So you mean to say we are learning different like Excel, SQL, Python are
Hmm.
because based on the company requirement. Like
Ha.
if they have SQL, then we can show the higher manager
Hmm.
manager person with the help of SQL. If they have
Correct.
Python, then we can so like that. If they have Power BI, then we can show in the Power BI this.
Correct.
But
Yes.
because everyone have this Excel by default, so
Hmm.
we generally prefer like from the very lower company, very startup company to higher company. Everyone have
Yes.
Excel. So the major one is Excel. There is
Excel.
no connection like first you have to start with Excel and then the data goes to SQL, then the data goes to Python. It is not like that, right?
You can learn any order. Like it won't be a problem. but it's a good thing to learn Excel and SQL primarily. These
Okay.
two tools, the easiest tools that everybody can understand.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
for
yeah.
example, if you give a one two lines of a Python code to your manager, might
Hmm.
understand, but his manager gets a problem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you need to handle your manager's manager whenever your manager is absent, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
time the Excel will be useful for the. And one more problem is the rows, right? You see thousands of rows, mostly lakhs of rows also.
Yeah.
So that much of a rows, it takes lot of time to consume that much of a rows and form this kind of a table.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be like so that takes lot of time. So there, what we do, we the Python comes into picture when we if we run a Python code that will crunch the numbers and create this kind of a views.
Mm-hmm. So, but the kind of visualization what Excel show is it
Hmm.
is it like Power BI is a very very good tool when it comes to visualization.
Hmm.
So does the Excel have the same capacity to
We can
to beat Power BI because you know uh, Excel
uh,
is a
uh,
very basic tool. So, but when it comes to showing your charts and reports to higher manager, people always prefer to be very interactive so that the higher person can understand very well. Does the
like
Excel have the same capacity? You mean
right,
to say?
Excel have the same capacity. And one more thing is bit cheap. Like not most of the Indian companies don't use this Power BI mostly. So and there are some tools also coming in picture. If you see, there will be a Looker, and Looker comes from a Google Cloud platform. Cloud platform is currently is booming like anything. Uh, so maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years down the line, you hear Looker more than a Power BI.
Yeah, because
So,
I didn't heard Looker, so I
mm,
was like
cool,
bit
cool,
in
cool. No
dilemma
worries.
to
No
dilemma
worries.
to.
Like anyway, that visualization, the purpose of visualization tool is just show the analysis and the reports to senior management. Any tool is fine. A
Okay.
visualization, for example, if you learn one, you'll get to know. Anyway, it's just a logic, right?
Okay.
If you want to make a pivot table, maybe if you want to make a pie chart, there will be a chart. That's all, but
Okay.
the name is different in each. The pie chart will be same for every visualization tool, but
Mm-hmm.
platform changes. Just like some people use iPhone, some people use Android, some people use Samsung, and so on.
Okay. And one more thing is the data analytics role is a one man army? Is he has to do everything like now from right from the getting the you know like, obviously the raw data he will get, but the remaining thing he has to do all the things, or
Um,
there will be a team assigned for every you know for
so
every
you
task.
have your manager supporting to you. You have your senior lead supporting to you. The thing is, the when you go in a company as a new fresher,
Hmm.
what kind of work they will give? They give based on already predefined procedural work, like making a report in the sense you they say this is the data, and this is where you will get you need this is the column, and you just need to do sum of this column, and you need to get this number, and you need to put this kind of the procedural way, like. And that kind of work you will get habituated in 1 to 2 weeks, mostly maybe in 3 weeks at tops. You will get to know like 60 to 70% of your day-to-day work is repetitive, and there is
Mm-hmm.
an 30% of the work you do something new. So that work you will get later on. So once you are proficient in your day-to-day work, and maybe your manager picks up and says that okay, you do this analysis, can you get me a data that shows how much each zone is performing. And one the thing is, first you, for example, if you understand the data, maybe I'll just sorry if I'm going too much. I'll just quickly show this. And for example, this is the sales data of an e-commerce company. This says that product laptops comes under electronics, like how much price, and in which store they sold and year and date. So they give this kind of a data. They ask how many laptops sold, how many smartphones sold, how many tablets sold, how many headphones sold. That kind of analysis they ask, because when first 3 months and first 3 weeks or 1 month you already have worked on this data, you know what each column will represent. You would be able to do your analysis with confidence. That is the only thing. But no, you actually know we no need to worry about that. Whenever you join a company, they give a training for 1 to 2 weeks, and in this course, I will teach you what are the technical skills that you people require to be successful in your career. And within 3 to 4 weeks of your new job, you will get to know everything what you need to do in your day-to-day job, and how your job looks like how what kind of you just get your confidence in a month. The thing is, data analytics is the easiest course in entire IT domain. Yeah, I think we are reaching time. I'll just go to the next slide. So, is it hard to learn? Just now explained, data analytics is most easiest IT skill that you can witness or you can experience in entire IT domain. Who should enroll? So here, anybody who want to become a data analyst and a business analyst, they can enroll this course. You even zero coding experience people also can enroll this course. This course doesn't require that much of a coding. With simple people have mathematics, simple maths is sufficient enough to become a data analyst. And you should have some kind of a domain knowledge, in the sense when you go to the company, you just need to know what this company is selling, and from where this company is getting the money. That's all. These two things you need to answer whenever you need to know whenever you join a new company. So that is the basic skills. And working professionals who are looking to enhance their analytical skills, they can join this course. And entrepreneurs and business owners seeking data driven insights, also they can join this course. Even people who want to change their domain, also they can join this course. Because in data analyst, for example, if you join as a data analyst in a company, your career path can be, you can become a business analyst, and you can become a senior data analyst, and you can become a data engineer also. Like I know I witnessed some people who are becoming a data engineer from a data analyst. So data, when a guy become a data analyst, he will understand how the data looks like, and where this data getting, how what is the use of these columns, and how should the data should look like each column should be in that in for example, if you look at a table, uh, data analyst will get to know whenever, for example, let's look at this table. So if you look at a column E, sales data, the sale date, data engineer might not understand what is it, but a data analyst should understand this should be a date column. The quantity sold, a data analyst should understand it is an integer. It is not a decimal, it is not a float, it is an integer. And the price also an integer. For example, if I say brand should be a character. So you will understand a data profile. How should a data look like? Maybe if somebody saying there is a sales data coming in, data analyst is the guy you can understand. Okay, this is the sales data. The sales data looks like this. So that's why people have different trajectories. People can data analyst guy can choose any other role after become a data analyst. He can become a senior data analyst. He can become a business analyst. He can become a even some cases I see program managers, and he can become data engineer also. Yes. So coming to why you choose us. So I'll explain what I'm going to offer in this course. Hands-on projects, the projects that I picked up from my experience, like I have worked in Flipkart and Amazon, and few of them my friends also worked in some kind of product companies. Based on their
Hello.
and for example, if you are what kind of a questions and interviews they will ask, and flexible learning options. Anyway, we provide this material and everything for you to go through after each and every class. So why chooses? So this is overall, but I'll just we're at the end. But I'll just wanted to show one curriculum also. This one. Yeah, this is our data analytics course curriculum that I have prepared for you guys. So in this core curriculum, I what are the topics I gave in depth the detail of each topic. So what I'm going to teach in Excel and what I'm going to teach in SQL and what I'm going to teach in Python and R programming. Uh, so what I'm going to teach in Looker. Looker, I told you, it's a visualization tool. Earlier they used to call Looker as a Google Data Studio. So yeah, this is all in-depth curriculum. But I even give some frequently asked questions after each and every module. Like I think it takes a lot of time to go in each and every topic, but I'll have this screenshot in the sense I just, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this, or I will ask institute to share a course curriculum with you all for your reference. So yeah, these all are modules that I'm going to teach you in this course. The first module is Excel, and the second module is SQL, third is Python, fourth is R, and fifth is Looker. In Excel, we learn introduction and logical functions, arithmetic functions, lookup and reference functions, date and text functions, pivot tables, charts, conditional formattings, dashboards, and business reports. Coming to SQL, we were going to do introduction of SQL,
Sir,
databases, and tables. How
sir,
we
just
go ahead.
uh, which SQL you are taking care? Like,
My,
Microsoft Excel server
yes,
or okay,
Microsoft SQL Server.
okay, okay.
Anyway, most of the tools are same. Like for one
Yeah,
SQL
yeah.
to other SQL, there will be slight one two functions will be added or one two functions will be removed.
Okay.
So yeah, here we can learn sorting data, filtering data, joining, grouping data, subqueries, set operators, and there will be an advanced SQL functions. The advanced SQL function means it will come rankings, window functions, that kind of uh, uh, functions will come in this last chapter of SQL. Coming to Python, so Python will learn what is Python and introduction of Python, how we can navigate. In Python, I'm using Jupyter Notebook, so we can learn Python through Jupyter. So Python libraries, mostly I'll teach NumPy and Pandas and some visualization libraries also. That my way of teaching Python is to uh, by hands-on in the sense I do the Python exercises in front of you in the sense in the call in the session, and you guys can shadow me in the sense you see how I'm doing, and I'll explain you what is each and every functions will do, how a typical analysis work that look like in Python for a data analyst. So you can do an hands-on. So the first demonstration is only on PPT, but the coming demonstrations will be, for example, in SQL. I'll teach in this SQL environment and Python, Jupyter Notebook, Excel in Excel. So the teaching will be in this format. It won't be a PPT. The first demonstration only. I'm just wanted to give a overall idea how a data analytics course looks like. That's why I used PPT. But the coming sessions, I don't use PPT. It will be like hands-on. Yeah, in Python we learn Python libraries, data types, data structures, programming constructs, data manipulation. So exploratory data analysis, people call this as a EDA, exploratory data analysis, and data visualization and automating a business reports. Coming to R and Python does the same thing for a data analyst. So whatever we learn in Python, I teach that in R. So for example, if any company, maybe if you get a job in a company that only uses R, so it will be helpful for you guys. And the Looker, introduction to Looker, data modeling, building dashboards in Looker, Looker advanced features, and industry related dashboards. The thing is just in a high level syllabus, but if you want an in-depth syllabus, You should refer this course curriculum. This will give you an in-depth syllabus that what I'm going to teach. Okay, this is at a high level. And don't worry, no company uses these five tools. The most of the companies use one, two tools. Maybe some companies use Python and Excel. Maybe some companies use SQL and R. But like it is very rare and very rare case that companies are using all five tools. But it's good for you to learn all tools, but no, it's not mandatory. That it's not the case that if you go in industry, Monday they will ask you to do an Excel, and Tuesday SQL, third day Python, fourth day R, fifth day Looker. No, it won't be like that. The most cases you might be stick to two tools in any company. That's the max. Yeah, these all are for today's session. I'll take if there is any questions. Please ask me. I'll take these questions. From tomorrow's sessions, we can start with Excel. I'll just stop my screen.
So what will be the duration and timings? Can you
Uh,
just
du- Duration will be 2 months. The timings will be we can have morning sessions. The morning sessions will be a good because people will come with a fresh mind.
yeah,
So yeah, that's why I requested institute management to organize sessions at morning time.
okay. And is it 8 to 9 or 9:30?
It will be 8 to 9. If requires, I'll extend it a bit, maybe a 30 minutes. That's the max I can extend. Because I know you guys need to go to your offices and your
Yeah,
work.
yeah. Okay, that's it from my side.
Okay, guys. Like if there is any questions, please feel free to reach out to institute management. They will address you with all the course curriculum and if there is any other details that you people required. Yeah, if there is no questions, we can wrap this session up. And thanks for joining today's demo session.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. I'll just give a quick recap what we discussed last session. The last session we discussed what is data analytics and what are the tools that I'm going to cover in this course. For newcomers, I'll just write what are the tools that we are covering in this course. I'm covering Excel, SQL, Python, R, and Looker. So these are the tools I'm going to cover in this session, and you can go through the course curriculum in our Durgasoft website. Uh, so today's session we're gonna start with Excel. So just to give a just to give a basic understanding, the Excel environment looks like this. So I just opened already pre-saved document. For example, if you wanted to open Excel, you just go here and type Excel. This is Excel. It will get open like this way. So entire this sheet that we call workbook in the sense. So here I saved it. I'll just open my window. Okay. So here if we look at it here, I saved few files. Teaching workbook level 1, teaching workbook level 2. All this file, the first file or second file or third file, any file, all this file, the file I called as a workbook, Excel workbook. an Excel workbook. And if you look at it here, I'll just zoom a bit. Hmm. So here this is Excel workbook, and if you look at here, sheet one. So in Excel we can add sheet to multiple sheets here. So that will in a workbook, my workbook name is book one, and currently we are in sheet one of a workbook one. And one more thing is in Excel, it's a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet names like Excel operate based on a cells. So if you look at it here, in a row you see A, B, C, D, E, F, and here it is named as 1, 2, 3, 4. So the reason being you see this A, B, C, D's and 1, 2, 3 here is every cell is having some address. For example, here if you look at it here, the cell address of my cursor is E6. I'll just repeat it again. So for example, if I keep my cursor here, the address of this cursor is D3. So, D3. So this is what I mean to say. So wherever the C and 3 intersects, that becomes our address for that cell. So for example, if I keep 24 here, I'm keeping 24 in my C3. If I want that same value in my G3, what I will do, I'll just put an equal to and get value of C3, just a C3. So what I'm doing, I'm just in my G8, I just want a value of C3. That's why I just put equal to C3, and immediately I got the value of C3 in G3. So this is a basic construct. So entire workbook, entire Excel file that we have here is, we call this is a workbook. And if you open this, so in workbook you see multiple sheets, sheet one, and you can add whatever the number of sheets that you want. At the most industry purposes and all, they will add only 5 to 6 sheets. That's all. These are sheets, and whatever the boxes that you see, right, that are cells, and each cell is referenced based on their address. The address will be created based on X and Y. X is nothing but A, B, C, D, this one, and Y is nothing but a 1, 2, 3, 4, and all. So just I hope you guys are clear. I'll just do the address of this cell should be L4. So L4. Yes, I'll just highlight it maybe in a color. So if somebody asks what is the address of this highlighted color, we should be able to say in L it is intersecting here. So yeah. So the intersection point of L and intersection of point of 4. So the address of this highlighted cell is L4. Yeah. This is basic concept. And if you want to save this Excel, you just need to go here, select as save, and wherever the folder that you wanted to save, you can save it. Maybe I'll save it in a data analytics folder. I'll name this as test doc, maybe test sheet. And just please remember, whenever you save Excel sheet, select Excel workbook, because here you see too many files, and don't save your Excel file with CSV, or sometimes by some softwares default show this. Whenever you click a save, default it will come like this. Don't save in this format. Save only Excel workbook format. So most of the industry, that raw data that you get, right, that will come in this format, CSV format. Once you complete your work, before closing your Excel sheet, you need to change it to this one. Change it to Excel workbook and save. So if you look at it here, you see uh, the file types is Excel, Microsoft Excel worksheet. And for example, if I save this as a CSV, I'll do this. I'll save this as a CSV. Data analytics. Test sheet. I'll click this CSV. I'm saving this as a CSV. I'll tell you what we lose if I save this as a CSV. So I saved this as a CSV, and what I did here, I made here you see test sheet and sheet one. I'll put some numbers over here. One, two, three, and there is a sheet three also available, and sheet four also available. And I saved it, and I'm closing the sheet. If I reopen the sheet, so they earlier you saw here a sheet 2, sheet 3, and sheet 4 and all, right, that got disappeared. So that is the reason the CSV is nothing but a comma separated file. Whenever you save an Excel workbook contains multiple sheets, and if you save that workbook as a CSV, you lose all the sheets. You only end up with getting one sheet. That is the first sheet. So that's why general practice, general data analysts avoid saving their work in CSV. Whenever you wanted to save a file, you should save that file as an Excel file. So yeah, once you save this file, you can just verify here. You see Microsoft Excel worksheet, and the file that I saved, it is showing Microsoft Excel comma separated values. So that is one difference. Like later on, you'll get to know. Like once you get started with this course, I'll just delete this one. Okay, let's get started with the actual work. So this is the basic construction of an Excel. So Excel is a workbook. The early days they used to do this Excel with small budgeting work and small kind of a whenever they wanted to build something, they need a raw material, right? Bill of material. For example, if you want to cook a biryani, what you need? You need some rice, masala, and you need some kind of michi, oil, and everything. All these things, like that kind of a small analysis, they used to do in Excel. Like I just took cooking as an example, but there are many more examples for Excel. So in IT field, every most of the people, like 90% of the people use irrespective of their job, even if it's a program manager or a manager. Everybody they have at least some percent use of an Excel in their day-to-day life. So for example, if you learn Excel, you will get to know how to operate a spreadsheet like Google spreadsheets and everything. So these are some of the example where Excel is getting used. We can see the use of Excel in business and financing and data analysis, project management, inventory management, supply chain and logistics, sales and marketing, HR and payroll, reporting, dashboards, forecasting predictions, and so on. Like there are many like the people comes with a different domain, right? So I try to list all the examples of Excel here, so people can relate. uh, let's move to the first topic today. uh, these are our first topic, logical functions. If I say logical functions, the logical functions are mainly logical functions that it will be like if and or not, if error and if else. But first three is very important. So what is if and what is or? So if is nothing but, for example, if you wanted to do, there is some work need to be done. The work is dependent on some condition, one condition. So for example, if you wanted to go. So if you wanted to go a movie, first you need to get a tickets. So maybe if it's some kind of a new movie get released, and if somebody asks, I'll go movie if I get tickets. So if condition is the reason to go movie, and if condition should be satisfied to go movie. So the first application of if condition. So here you are seeing a table, right? The table shows student name. There is a student called Vinay and subject. And Vinay is studying some standard, maybe some class, and these are his subjects: science, maths, biology, Sanskrit, Hindi, English, and these all are his marks. So here, what we wanted to see, he recently got his results of each subject. We need to identify how many subjects Vinay is passed and what are the subject Vinay is failed. So come here. So to this result, right, the column that is highlighted in blue is result that we generated. So let's see how to use if condition to generate this result. Start delete this. I'll just zoom in a bit. So okay, the subject one science he got 70 marks, and passing criteria for each subject is 35 marks. 35 marks is passing. That means when I should get 35 or more marks to clear, consider that is passed in that subject. So in Excel, so we need the if condition works like this way. First we need to write, so the value that I need to take a reference from E5, E sorry, E15, E15, E15. So this is the subject. The marks are available in E15. That marks should be greater than or equal to 35. So I hope you guys are all aware about what is equal to and what is greater than. Greater than in the sense the the cell E15, the 70, greater than means at least it should be above 35 or equal to 35. Then only we can consider when I is passed in a subject. So how I can write this? So the first condition is if the marks are available in E15, E15 should be greater than or equal to 35. If it is the case, consider him pass. So if means if true, this is true. If this is true, the value should be pass. And if it is not true, the value should come as a fail. So just the common things that you guys need to notice here is the text one I kept in quotes, fail one it's in quotes, and 35 is an integer. I did not put any quotes for 35. So this is the basic functional syntax. People call this a syntax. This is a basic syntax. So okay, I'm saying if E15 is greater than 15, print or output pass. If it is not, fail. If it is not, fail. So if I enter this, it will not generate anything. It will just show this formula. To generate output, we need to put equal to over here. Just you need to put, whenever you put equal to before this function, the function will get activated, and once you click enter, you will get the result. So I gave here a formula. That formula says my if the cell value that in E15 is greater than or equal to 35, just output pass. So now I put formula here. Let's see. For example, if I change this to 20, it will generate fail. If I change this to 40, it will generate pass. So whenever I put this formula, this is now indestructible. The formula will always be there until you remove it. So whenever you change this value here, Okay, 70, 91. It is again pass. Let's see how much. Let's see, 12. 12 is fail. So according to your value, the formula will always gets refreshed and updated. I'll put 91 again. I'll put 70 again. So it will generated pass. For all if condition always have three arguments. The first is a condition. My condition should be like my value should be greater than 35. If 35, if this is true, print pass. If it is not true, print fail. And whenever I write some text, that should be in quotes. If it is an integer, no need to put that in quotes. So for example, if I do this, let's see what kind of a value that I'll get. Fail. The reason is it will not 35, it's 70, but it is giving you the wrong answers. So that's why don't ever put the numbers in quotes. Put only text and text values are in quotes. So now I generated a value for the science subject. The science results for scientist pass. So if you want the same value for all the cells, you just need to copy, drag, and you just drop. So what I did, I'll just redo again. So here you see, I'm just holding my mouse right button and I'm dropping this down. So it is the formula will always gets updated for all the rows. Let's see how this get updated. In first row in 15, E15 should be greater than 15. So when I copied and pasted it down, how this E15 should change it to E16, because I need to see the value for maths, right? So this value should get updated, then only I can believe this result is correct. Let's move to the second row. See, it automatically got updated to E16. And this is one method to dude, I'll just remove it. And another method is you just take you just control C copy, just do a control V paste. This formula also works. While doing this also, the cell references, right, the cell references will increase. The first cell, the reference point is E15. When I copied E15 and pasted it in E16, you see the changes in number is 60. It's all automatically gets updated. The thing is, when you're copying the upper cell to lower cell, the only change that Excel understands is uh, there is a movement that is happening with respect to this rows, but in column it is same. That's why Excel will only change the E6 values, because there is a movement is happening in this way. For example, if I copy this control V and if I paste it in outside, so what it's showing, if F15, so it took F15 value and generated this, but it is wrong. That's why it's coming past. So just keep this in mind. Whenever you're copying, you want the same value in a below row, just do copy paste. But uh, this works for only same in this vertically. The formula will get updated based on this vertical conditions. So I just put copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. So yeah, once you update the formula in this all the cells, whenever you change the values here, that the values with respect to F will auto updated. So I'll put this here 30, it will get fail. That is output is generating as fail. So I'll put 50 here. We see pass. So this is the first function if. Please always remember, in function you see three conditions, three arguments, one, two, three. One argument gives a condition. The second argument, if it's true, we get pass. If it's fail, if this is not satisfying, it will give fail. Okay, that is about if. So let's go to and. How and work? And is in if condition. We are saying that give me this if this is correct. Do this if this is correct. We whatever we are asking Excel to do based on one condition we're asking them to do. But in and we have to tell that uh, in a way that so for example, if there are more than two columns to consider when I is passed. Science, if you go in science examination, there will be part one paper and paper two, my part two paper, and total marks. So that maybe the institute, maybe the college of Vinay or a school of Vinay, they says that the pass marks should be 35, but in each part you should get 15 marks. Total marks and each paper, each part. So this is a passing condition that when a school has implemented. So just see. I think there is a message. So yeah. So total marks that when I get it's 15, and each part should get 15. So in these conditions, to call when I when I is passed, first you need to see whether when I is getting the required marks. Means in part one, at least he should get more than 15 marks. In part two, you need to get more than 15 marks, and total you need to get more than totally this total marks you should get more than 35. This is the criteria. Part So each part you should get greater than 15, and total should be greater than that. So this is the formula. So we can do this in two methods. I just don't want to confuse it here. So whenever we call this, whenever he satisfies this condition, the flag should generate true. So I'll just remove this entirely. I'll rewrite. Okay. And okay, my first values are in E15. Sorry, E26. E26, the value that available in E26 should be greater than or equal to 15, and the value that available in F26 also should be greater than or equal to 15, and the total marks you should get, the total marks that are available in G26 should be greater than 35. If all these are true, greater than or equal to 35. If all these conditions true, it will generate true. Correct. So, and one more thing that you guys need to notice here, whenever you apply formulas, the reference cells will get highlighted in colors. So, so that is your way that your formula is working, and you can just to confirm the values that you are referencing is highlighted it or not. For example, if I remove this F26, so I just put F, that's all. That's why if you see it is got deselected. F26 is deselected because it is not completed yet. Every address in cell will be a first alphabet and a number. So here I put only F as alphabet. The number I did not enter as of now. That's why it is showing this. So to complete this formula, I need to enter alpha numeric value also 26. So if I and click enter, it will generate true. So and so and is checking more than two, like it will be like it will be anything, it will check multiple conditions also. So this is what 1 2 3, all these are true. Let's see, here also you just need to copy and paste. You can copy and paste, or you can use this other method also. I'm just dragging and dropping it. So here if you see, one condition it got failed. What was that condition? So he got 15 marks in part 1 and 15 marks in part 2. Okay, the first condition satisfied. But total part 1 and part 2 is only 30. Okay, so he should get 35. Then only we call him pass, but he did not get 35. That's why it output generated as a false. So that's how in AND condition it will generate true or false. Okay, and here so we got true or false and the result. So this one I created if, just to the same if condition, same if condition. So I'll do. So some people don't understand what is true, what is false. It is 6 is H26 is just, if you put just H10 to 6 works. The I'll tell you the reason why. Pass. Pass. True means pass. So yeah. So here when I put H26, just I directly put H26 here. But in previous thing, when I put in this argument, I put E15 and I gave a condition it should be greater than or equal to 15. But why I did not give this condition? If you guys ask why I did not give the equal to, less than equal to, or equal to, or greater than or equal to, why I did not put any condition here? Why I put H26? The reason is, so the here we see true or false. So this we call binary operations in Excel. Whenever we see a true or false, uh, if we are using the true or false column in our if formula, you no need to give any condition. If it is true, then directly it will consider as a true, and if it is false, it will consider as a false. The thing is here also, what Excel does is E15 should be greater than 35. So if you look at it here, whenever the Excel executes, the first step it will check E15 is greater than 35, so it will generate true. First step in within Excel it will generate true, and if it is true it will generate pass. So just I eliminated that step. I just directly gave values are true or false. So if you give here this formula, see, there is no true or false anything. I just give a conditions. If satisfies all this condition, it will generate directly true. So this is all about and condition. Um, so yeah, please don't forget this, how the cells are getting refreshed. So cells are getting, I'll just revise once. So for example, if you want to know address of that cell, it should be K25. So how I am saying the cell value, the address of the cell is K25. I'll just the intersection points of a vertical, so intersection point of vertical axis and intersection points of horizontal. So the vertical axis and horizontals are getting intersected at here. So the first is we take alphabet, that is K, and second we take this is this one 25. Even you no need to do this much of math. Whenever you put your cursor in each cell, it will highlight. See if it got bit dark colored here compared to K and M, and the same way 17. Yep. Let's go to the our external terminal. So now let's learn about R. How R works. So if works based on a condition and work based on all conditions should be true. R works at least one condition should be true. So here there is, let's look at this is the students table, and we call the students as A, B, C, D, E, F. Just imagine these A, B, C, D, E, F are names of a students. Let's see here. This one is a sports quota and merit quota. Sports quota means the students is performing very well in sports, is participating in all kind of a tournaments and is winning it. So that's why the institute gave him a sports quota. So whenever the student have sports quota, we see yes, yes. And if we don't have sports quota, no, no, no. And if we student have good marks, it will generate yes, 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 and it is no. So this data we already have. So we only generating the blue columns, and okay, in from first to now we were only generating blue columns. That's why we don't see any formulas here. So if you look at it, this data given by the organization or somebody, and they asking you to generate these two columns, flag or qualified. What is flag means here? Flag means here is we need to identify students. At least you should have a sports quota or merit quota, at least one means you no need to have two quotas. One quota is sufficient. If we have two quotas, that is good, that is not a problem. So we in this to consider a student eligible or qualified, at least you should have one quota, either in a sports quota or a merit quota. So in this kind of a formula we need to use R. Okay, I'll just copy this. So this is a function. So we need, in there is a column, the F column, we need to generate a flag that says true or false. True in the sense student should have a quota, at least either sports or merit, at least one, anything. And if we don't have any, if you look at the column D, it coming as a false because this student D did not get a sports quota, is not playing sports well, and is not studying well. So they decided that disqualify him D. That's why the flag should be false. So let's I'll just remove this. Let's write the first check I need to do for R. If I do R, where is my cell? D36. D36 should equal to S. Just see guys, I'm putting quotes. I'm writing S in quotes. And next E36. You can put upper letter and lower upper alphabetics or lower alphabetics. There is no problem. I E36. So if I put E36, it is highlighting this one, right? If I do, let's see. If I do slow lowercase E36, still it is getting highlighted, right? So uppercase or lowercase, it is not a problem. Let's put this E36 should be also yes. Then if both are yes, generate true. Yes, it got generated true. And I'll copy paste. Okay, true. paste, true, and this should be false because this one don't have the sports quota and merit quota. False and false. Yep. So this is just a if condition. If 36 s means yes and no, 36 true means yes and no. So some people don't understand true or false. That's why we were using one more if condition to convert the true as yes, false as no. And one more thing, I'll just so if it's difficult for you guys to write, for example, if it's O R R, it's difficult for you to write every time D 37. It's difficult for you. Sometimes there will be a big Excel and all. It's very difficult for you to do. So you can use your mouse or you can use your arrows, right? Left arrow. So I'm using my left arrow. Just observe that cursor. It is moving, right? You can. So whenever I'm moving my cursor, the value here in this bar, it is getting changed. Now it is M37. M37, L37. If I move up 36, so it is getting moved. So you can go in this approach also. You no need to type every time. Just put OR the formula and just click your left arrow to the required conditioning cell. So I'm moving my left arrow to the conditioning cells, that is E37, and once your cursor is in that cell, put comma, and let's move again for another condition, another cell. So if that is not working, just yep, you can move this way. Hmm. So if I have C37, I'll do that's equal to thing you guys need to take care. Should be cell referencing. You can use using cursor movement. You can do that, but this one you should do the yes or no conditions that you need to type true. So it's not just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. That's all. So this generates flag true. If it is qualified means yes. So if you want more granularity qualified, so if you want, you can create another column called result, like to give more understanding. So what result should say is whenever we say qualified means we should call him selected. So how do we do this? I'll put if condition again. So lowercase or uppercase that doesn't matter. Excel will interpret. And what is my cell? So it should be G. G36 is, if G36 is S, print selected. Selected. If it is not S, not selected. Okay, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So whenever so see how these columns are changed. For flag, it is generated false. For qualified column, it got generated no. For result column, it generated not selected. So this is a copy paste approach, and I'll do drag and drop. So for example, if I drop this, yes, it will generate the same. And some cases, what I used to do. So here it's a small table. That's why we are doing drag and drop. So some cases, what I will do, I'll just copy this. I'll go down and I'll paste this and I'll copy this again and I'll select Control Shift up arrow and I'll do Control V. So everything will got selected. So how this Control Shifts works is, I think that should be a next part, but just remember Control plus Shift plus up arrow. just why control shift and up arrow is important is I think this is a small data. That's why we were not able to see. Okay, I'll teach you that in the next class maybe. Anyway, I'll teach it now. The other way, if I might forget. So whatever I'm teaching in this class is a basic, guys. So yeah, I'll share this Excel sheet with you. Please see how the formulas are, working and all. So we covered if and or. So our next topic is not. So why the control up and down arrow is important. So for example here, right, if you wanted to see what is the last row of this table, just put your cursor in date, control plus shift plus down arrow. So it selected all. So I'm saying that there are 1 lakh rows are available in this Excel sheet. So it got till at the bottom. So it is very difficult for you to scroll and see. There is literally 1 lakh rows, so you can't scroll down like this way. So just keep this in mind. Like data analysts, most of the data analysts use this function a lot. So I'll put this here. Control Shift down arrow. It will select and it will move your cursor at the bottom of the row. And if you are here, you can just Control Shift up arrow. So it will come here. So for example, here you see an empty row, right? It's an empty row. Empty row. If I do Control Shift in empty row, you will not get anything because it's an empty row. So this will useful for identifying the what is the last row of a given data set. Control Shift down arrow, it will use this one. The same way it will also Control Shift left arrow will give you the first call till first column. Control Shift right arrow will give till the last column. And if I click Control Shift right arrow in this empty space, it will take you the end of the sheet. So this will be useful to identify the last left, last the bottom and top rows, and first and last columns also. So yeah, this is okay. So let's move to not function. So not is something whatever your condition is that will generate opposite result. So yeah, I just copied our first table when I marks for science, maths, biology, Sanskrit in the English. He got these marks. Our passing criteria for this is our passing criteria for this is 35 marks. So the result got generated, but whenever you use not operation, so whenever you use a not operation, it will generate a result opposite of this. So it should be, for example, not. It's got stuck. Just a minute, guys. It got stuck. I'll just. I think this sheet. I opened that sheet now. That's why it is getting. So for example here, so whenever the condition, right, the condition, so if it is true, so let's see this column, the not result, the actual result is just an if condition whatever we are using in stem. So if you use a if condition, it will generate result like this, and if you use not condition, it will generate result opposite of this one. So here if you look at it, E45 should be greater than 35. So what is E45? Go to E and 45, and here the value is 70. 70 is greater than 35. Ideal case it should generate true, but if you look at it in our result, it is false because we are using not function. Not function is we are asking Excel to generate opposite of this. So we use this function. So whenever uh, like it just like I understand synonyms and antonyms, right? In English we see somebody says good, you call him bad, kind of, right? So that kind of a use cases we use this one. So whenever the condition is true, we say opposite of that condition, right? That kind of a cases we use not operator. Actually, not operator is not that much widely used, but yeah, as for course curriculum, I just wanted to cover. But first three is very very important, guys. Just you had to take. So next, see what is if error. Yeah, this is most frequently encountered issue in every data analyst and all. So when you got to marks, just see students, subject, marks, and total marks. So total marks in the sense, the science paper is for 100 marks. He scored 70 marks, and we need to give a percentage. He got 70 percentile. So if you look at it here, whenever you receive a data, some rows by mistakenly some kind of a things, it will happen. We will get with zero. Not zero, so some kind of glitches will have. Maybe if we have 1 lakh rows, maybe 10-20 rows will be like a zero value. So how you do a percentage? The percentage is nothing but a marks received. So first we do this, e E59. So E59 is that marks received by total marks. F59, E59 and F59. If you do this, you get zero point 0.7. To convert this into percentage, we multiply with 100. We multiply with 100. So we got this marks. So same marks we get it here, right? So the thing is, I'll just remove everything. The thing is, so I applied my formula to convert the percentage. I'm doing copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste 0. So here what happened? It is not working. It is throwing an error divisible 0. So whenever you see a denominator is 0, that time Excel doesn't work. It will throw this kind of error. So what happened whenever, so if error, whenever error comes, we need to like we can't like whenever you send a data to them, they will say that what is div error and all. So we need to explain in a way that Excel, if Excel says div error, the reason is denominator is 0, it is not divisible. So for this case, what you need to do is, we need to just whatever the we need to use this formula. So till here the first part, I'm just selecting it in this row. Till here, that is our formula to get a percentages from marks and total marks. I'm adding one more layer out of it. Calculate these two columns and give me a value here. But whenever it is an error, but whenever you get an error, you give another name, it is not divisible. So okay, so that's why I'm adding one more condition, if error. So these are the new that I added to handle my errors. I'll just highlight it. Hope you guys are seeing this screen clearly. So the first part is my actual formula, and second I added if error. This function says whenever the value that is appeared here, if it is an error, generate not divisible. Not divisible. Are you here? I'm putting not divisible. Okay. I'll just do copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So he not divisible, right? This is something, the reason that we are giving Excel to populate. But you can do this also. You can change it. You can change in this way. I'll write it in a issue with the data. Issue with the data. Issue with the, so it will generate issue with the data. So if there is no issue with the data, we don't see this column also generating. I'm just copying, pasting everywhere, but still it is not solving. So the reason that you gave here will generated in our cells if error. So so for example, some cases what happens, if it is zero mean there is something wrong. You no need to worry. Some cases what you need to do, you need to put whenever error comes, consider that is a zero. So because when if it is this is the case, and just select all these values here and come your right left corner. If you see the Excel generates some basic stats for this selected column. So for selected column, the values would be average is 55 and total 6 subjects, count is 6. That means you can understand it as 6 subject, and the sum of this 6 is 334. So yeah, when you select this, it will generate average, count and sum. But coming to here, if you select this one, we are not getting average and we are not getting sum. So if see here, if you see average, you are seeing 83, and count you are seeing 6, and sum 500. But you select percentage column, you only getting 6. The reason is Excel is not understanding, is this a column or a integer column or a text column, because 5 numbers are in integers and one row is in character or a text. So that is the problem. Excel is not understanding what to say. That's why Excel only saying that there are six cells are selected. So even if you select this, you only okay here. If you see issue, when we replaced with issue with data, so saying that 6, and he eliminated this one and is giving average for remaining 5. And yeah, so and it doesn't look good putting issue with data. Sometimes what our managers or manager says is that whenever you get an error, replace that with 0. They will ask us to do this kind of a work, then only data looks clean and are proper. So now see the average got changed. So yeah, so this also we can do, but I'll put now for not divisible. Okay, last ifs. So if as this condition works, I'll just copy this. Now for example, there is a situation we need to grade our students based on the marks that that they received. So just look at it here. When I science marks, maths, biology, Sanskrit, and everything, the condition is whenever student gets in ifs, can put a lot ifs, and it's an extension of if condition. In if condition, I said there are three, just a three argument. One is a condition. If it is condition true, the true will comes out. If condition is false, and false is comes out, false reason is comes out. But whenever you the ifs, ifs, where this in this if condition, you put many as possible. Like, so here if you look at it here, the condition is whenever when I score more than 90 marks, you should get A. That is one condition I put, and after that I put one more comma. Whenever when I scores greater than or equal to 71, greater than or equal to 80, you should get B grade. Whenever when I gets greater than 70 marks, you should get C grade. So yeah, so first you need to put a condition, and if the condition is true, what? If condition is false, it will check another condition, next condition. Next condition is 80. For here, just in this first condition, when I got 70 marks, first what Excel will do, Excel will check the first condition. What is 70 is greater than 90? No. Then it will check the next condition. Is 70 is greater than 80? No, it will false. And again it will go to the third condition. Is 70 is greater than or equal to 70? Yes, it is true. Like we are putting equal to also. So if I don't put equal to, it will give false. So that's why it is generated a condition C fail. Whenever so it is greater than 30, it will generate fail. Why it isn't coming? Oh, okay, I changed it. I'll just copy paste again. One, two, three, four. Okay. So here 40, the 40 should be grade F,
It is
right?
great. It is
Uh,
greater than 30 fail you have mentioned.
uh, but here what I put in integer, I just did this quotes. I'll remove my quotes here, because if I remove this quotes, yes, I'll do again copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Yes.
Then for 40 also you put the code.
Where? Here, yes. Earlier I put quotes for 40. That's why it is generated fail. Like it generated wrong value. Just here also I'll remove quotes. Like I don't put quotes for integers, numbers. Only put quotes for text. Yes. Yeah. Okay, guys. We are almost on time, and this is all for today's session. And I'll do one thing. I'll try to reach out to institute and ask to share the sheet with you, like in your free time. Just these are most used functions in Excel. I'll teach anyway. I'll teach by chapter by chapter. But whenever you have time, please go and read this. Not only this, and whenever like you just refer the sheet maybe. This is only a level one. It's a basics only. Like yeah, we can have more advanced than this, but that is easy actually. Excel is easy. We can refer and based on the procedure that we can go ahead. Yeah. Anyway, this is all for today session. If there is any questions, you guys can ask me.
So please share that just now you have shared, right?
This one only. Okay, sure, I'll do share this one.
Not this formula one, the remaining formulas.
Sorry. Okay, okay. And this one, it's already in the sheet.
Yeah,
The one sheet gives you
yeah,
everything.
this one.
So
If
yeah.
and all nested if error, some subtract.
So whenever you open the sheet now, just navigate here. You see sheet one, sheet like sheet
Okay,
three. There
okay, got
are
it.
options. So
I thought this is in some other sheet. So
uh, and whenever you open it and if you do some modification and if you wanted to save it again, save it in Excel workbook like I showed it in earlier. And like you can go through recording maybe once more, like if you can, there are, I explained I think five concepts and too many things here. If you have free time, please do go through the recording one more time, so that will clear your doubts and it will help you how to navigate the Excel sheet. Yep. This all then today. If there is no questions, we can wrap this up. Okay, I'll take it as a no questions. Thanks everyone. Have a nice day. Bye.